Homes have never been more unaffordable. Council house waiting lists have never been longer. We're in a housing crisis. We tell ourselves that only big developers can deliver at the speed and scale needed to tackle a crisis this vast. What if things could be different? What if the power and resources to create good homes lay in the hands of our communities? The whole thing has got to change. Let's completely reimagine how we're going to do it and how a community like Knowle West could do housing on its own terms. So WeCanMake is a community-led organisation based here in Knowle West, South Bristol, and we unlock microsites to create affordable homes for local people in housing need. How crazy is it that it's really radical in housing to start with people? Usually things like with sites and how much money can you make out of developing a particular bit of land, whereas WeCanMake starts with people and their housing needs. So our housing pioneers, John, Toni and Bill, I think they've all got different stories about how they got involved with this.
My name is John Bennett. I'm a resident of the WeCanMake collective, I suppose. Someone said to me once, you're only one payday away from being homeless, and I think we all are really. You know, although we can have a bit of money in the bank, you'd be surprised how quickly that gets eaten up once you stop putting money in on a regular basis, you know. Especially in Bristol, it's just got ridiculous. You won't get nothing for less than £500 now in Bristol, and then they're going to put bills on top of that. About 5 years ago now, I was absolutely skint money-wise, and there was no way could I even rent a room in a house. Plus, I still needed to support my family. Both my daughters work night shifts in care homes, so I needed to offer support to other people as well as look after myself. And because of my economic situation, I couldn't really expect a lot more. And I got sort of stuck in that then. I couldn't see a way of getting out of that. I also really lowered my expectations as well. I lived quite a low-level life. I didn't wash that much, and my diet was shockingly bad and got into some bad habits. I got to the stage where I was drinking a lot, drinking most nights, smoking heavily. On the way in was popping to the off licence to get 6 cans. My target was to get to sleep as quickly as possible. I was going to bed at sort of 7 or 8 o'clock at night, like, you know, just because it was no fun being there. When I got to the first winter, it was very cold, but it was the darkness which depressed me the most, or which got me really down. Especially being a man of a certain generation, there's still that stigma attached to mental health, and so yeah, it was quite depressing. Around about the same time, I bumped into Melissa Mean of Knowle West Media Centre. And we were chatting. She said, oh, you're a builder, aren't you? You need to get involved with our WeCanMake project. We need builders to get involved. She said, well, you're the ideal candidate. We'll put you down as the first resident of WeCanMake.
So we describe our process of development as urban acupuncture. It's a kind of gentle densification, finding the small little sites across the neighbourhood where you can put a new home in exactly where people need it. What we wanted to do is start a different conversation about housing and invite people in. We met Bill through one of those conversations. He understands the pressures of what it is about, you know, not to have a home of your own. Bill and Liam did a really radical, amazing thing, and they were able to help John in a very powerful way.
They were talking to locals with big gardens about a community project where they could either help families move into a house or homeless people to move into a house, and building it from scratch in the garden. I thought it was a good idea. The only condition was that if Liam didn't like the person moving in, it wouldn't happen, because it's his home as well as my own. I just finished the messy divorce and was a single dad with Liam, John was in a similar sort of situation, and I thought I would try and do something that was good for the community, as well as having another neighbour that was close by for safety reasons. If anything ever happened to me, Liam could go out the back door, go to John's. So he came to the house, sat down, had coffee, and talked about what his goals were, what happened within his life, what happened within mine. And Liam thought John was absolutely brilliant. They took together it was like sponge and water. We built it from there. I have been homeless in my life, and it isn't the greatest thing in the world. So to give someone else an opportunity to have a home was a good thing. It was just nice to be nice to someone.
One of our other community pioneers is Toni and her daughter Amancia, and they show how WeCanMake can help with a different kind of challenge.
I was living with my daughter, my mum and my dad, and the space was quite cramped. I only had my bedroom, we was allowed in the living room, but it was it's small enough just for 2 people to be used to just either sit in the kitchen, sit upstairs. It's been quite difficult. It took a bit of convincing because my mum loves our garden. She liked going out, but then obviously it was just a lot of lawn mowing, and my dad, he didn't want to keep doing the garden, so they decided to take the opportunity. It was a fantastic opportunity. I was really excited.
Because we know exactly who those homes are going to be for, we can absolutely involve them to help co-design what that home is going to be, what it's going to look like. I mean, it's just transformative because they're involved in every stage. We're putting digital fabrication tools and technology in people's hands in our community factory, making the parts for their home.
WeCanMake happens to have a CNC machine, which that's the main machine that's needed. I'm Jonathan Green, I run Block Build. Our sort of approach is to make these manhandleable sized cassettes which act as a structural shell of the building. There's no other material apart from the single type of sheet material in the installation. That's cut out, put together with screws and a mallet, and then they are all sequenced and numbered, so it's super quick and it kind of engages with the community, which is specifically what this project was about.
You get to join in with making your house. So I made the walls in the factory, which was cool. I've never done that before, so I learnt new skills from that.
Usually in the development process, the value of new development just washes through the community and gets, kind of hoovered up by a developer. But here, we're making sure that community wealth stays here in the form of jobs, skills, infrastructure.
Seeing Toni in the workshop cut those on a CNC machine out of sheet material, then John putting the fabric of the building together, it was really enjoyable.
It was quite enlightening because I didn't realise how easy it was going to be. I mean, I changed from being a traditional builder to a builder of modern methods of construction. Being involved that deeply, it's yours, isn't it? It becomes yours.
It feels like a bit of a family environment, really collaborative.
You weren't on your own, someone always joined in, or someone always came down to see if I was okay. So that was really nice.
Rather than just trying to build the quickest, cheapest unit, we're actually designing in what people really want from a home. good for people, enough space and light inside and warm enough and low cost to run. We need to build homes that are good for people and good for the planet.
We're generally saving about 45% of the carbon in a build using our timber cassette system.
We want to push that even further. Carbon zero, carbon positive. What's great about working in this way, using the local factory, is that you can transport those parts to site without having to rely on really big trucks. Instead, you can use cargo bikes and the electric van.
On site they go together, 1 to 100, and it's just kind of like placing Lego bricks.
And then I opened the door for the first time. It's just amazing how it's ended up. I've made more friendships, become more confident, more self-esteem. I'm more independent, so that's quite cool. Amanda's a lot calmer. Yeah, she's brilliant. Yeah, I'm kind of proud to send from Knowle West now.
I always say to people, I've just finished building my own house. And I think I can just about get away with saying that. I moved in the day before my birthday. It was that moment like, Nana says, I'm in now. But I just felt over the moon. I didn't ever have a vision of it all being in the same room at the same time. When I actually got in there and sat in there and looked at it, I'm really, really pleased with the way it's all come together. I do really feel connected to it. I wasn't really looking after myself very well, but now I'm able to live a much fuller life and a much happier life. It gives me that opportunity to have somewhere to call people in, if you know what I mean, for somewhere to come and visit me. My daughters and my grandchildren, they now see my house is somewhere they can come as well, and they're really proud of it as well. They really like the space. That fills me with pride.
That moment of being welcomed in by John and Toni for the first time into their home when they've got their keys in their hand, that is something very, very special. And it doesn't feel like you're stepping into a new build off of some generic estate. You're definitely stepping into somebody's home.
These homes have been someone's home in their heart from the day they were a line on the page. There's a sense of belonging and well-being even before the walls are constructed, and you can't buy that. So that's why projects like this are important.
I think they're absolutely awesome. The one in my garden should have been there in the beginning. It looks like it just belongs there. It's something that should have been done years ago. You're doing something that will help. It's an idea that is cottoned on within the neighbourhood. Gave me the confidence. I went back to work this year after being unemployed for 8.5 years. There is no real negatives.
I think the WeCanMake project just has so much potential. There's things like the land transfer model, which is groundbreaking, never been done before. This has the potential really to be scaled up and adapted to other areas across the country on a national level.
Sometimes you look at what we've done. We built 2 homes and you go, oh gosh, that's really quite small. Especially if you look at it compared to the enormity of the housing crisis. But actually, small can be powerful. Small can be really big. We know that there's lots of other communities like Knowle West facing similar challenges to us. And what we've made and discovered here is up for others to adapt and adopt for their own housing situation. And we've got all of the know-how, all of the toolkits, all of the policies, they're there now, so other communities like Knowle West can use them, and they will have it so much easier than we have. Imagine the other neighbourhoods across Bristol, the rest of the country, using the same tools and putting in their 100 homes exactly where they need them. Suddenly you've got thousands of homes, low carbon, community owned, community made. Now that's a revolution I could get behind. That is a demonstration of what this community can do when it works together. That's really powerful. And that's individuals like John, Toni and Bill, having faith, having trust and going for it, making a different kind of world.